caddis pupa. Step 1.
The hook here is a number 10 2X curved dry fly or wet fly hook, and we're going to use some olive 6/0 thread. Make sure that the body's completely covered with thread.
Step 2.
And now we're going to weight the fly with some .02 lead. This is a appropriate size for this hook that we're using here.
So again, if you use thicker lead, you'd be using it in sort of a faster water type fly.
Correct. If you wanted it to sink a little faster, then you definitely would use some heavier lead. But we don't want the fly to be too bulky, so this is the reason we use this size of lead as well.
I see.
Make sure both butt ends are pushed up tight against the hook.
Step 3.
And now we're going to cover both ends and create a bit of taper to either ends of the bunch of lead. That way it helps us dub the body on nice and even, and it also keeps the lead from sliding around. And here we want to cover up the lead so that when the fly is used and gets wet a few times, the lead won't leak through and disfigure or discolor the color of the fly.
Step 4.
And for the body, we'll just add a little bit of olive rabbit dubbing. You can use anything for this, really. This just so happens to be the color of the larva we're trying to imitate.
Yeah, the real one is actually that funny green color, isn't it?
Some are green and some are a little bit yellow or slightly orange. This is probably a more common color.
Step 5.
And for the head, we're going to use some peacock curl. 3 or 4 or 5 strands should do it. Tie them in by the tip.
Notice when you tie in almost anything, you seem to lay it in on the side. Does that sort of help it when you snug down the thread to lay it onto the top?
That helps when on a material like this where we're wrapping it with the thread. It helps have the material and the thread start in the same place so you don't get a bit of a bubble between the two.
Step 6.
Now we're going to whip finish. It's a really simple fly, but it looks exactly like the real thing. Kind of like a green maggot.